DeGrom outsmarts wisdom.
He's just out having a little innocent fun.
That's what the man said. You heard what he said. He said that.
Welcome to Denmark.
Good evening, and welcome to this televised conglomeration. Tonight we bring you a special program, one curated uniquely for you. You see, you have spent far too much time alone. You've sheltered in place, you've kept your distance, you've avoided eye contact, hidden beneath your hoodie, you've scurried home concealed in the shadows. And now you've begun thinking, where is everyone? Am I alone? Am I even real? So, from the front line of your mind, this is Solipsistic Briefings, the show where we try to determine whether all of this is only in your head. If other minds exist, can you know them? How do we determine whether you are in reality or reality is in you? Simple. You pay attention right now. Just dive in and backstroke blithely through the waves of uncertainty. And perhaps for a moment, you will be able to relinquish the why and experience the what, the how, the indubitability of reality as it is or as you make it.
Armadillos. Supported by wires and camouflaged stands, the taxidermized mammals stare at you. You shuffle closer, gazing into the face of a lopsided specimen, daring it to move. Dust flutters into the shafts of light before your face. You puff out your cheeks and blow, sending small particles skittering over the beast's faded armor. You've come here every day since you first woke up, splayed face down in front of the armadillo exhibit in the mammal hall of the Museum of Natural History. Frantic museum-goers had called security upon seeing your collapsed form, and when you opened your eyes, you were surrounded by serious, unfamiliar faces. Given that this is your first memory, you cling to it, imbuing it with more importance than your doctor says is healthy. How could someone just forget their entire life? Inside your wallet, they found a couple of $50 bills, a ticket stub for Alfred Hitchcock's Spellbound, a condom, and empty spaces where your ID and credit cards should have been. The museum staff know you by sight now. That's how often you've come here over the last 7 months. Long hours of empty days are whiled away in front of the armadillo exhibit. Many people come and go around you. Families, school kids, bored businessmen. Now and again one of them looks at you, and your heart skips a beat, reading recognition in their glances. But no one ever looks at you for long. They pass by. It's as if they know that unlike the other stuffed bodies preserved in this hall of knowledge, you have no past from which they can learn. Probing the bump on your skull, you wander out of the mammal hall and into the human origins exhibit. Quixotic wax Cro-Magnon men charge a mammoth 20 times their size. Resting against a pillar, you catch sight of your reflection in the triple-width panes of glass. Sullen eyes stare out of a face you cannot name. Turning away, it's time to go back to your room in the hospice and gulp down the scotch snuck in by the Alzheimer patient down the hall. Your untied shoelaces become your second downfall. Veering forward, the weight of your body accelerating your descent, your head cracks against the sharp edge of a concrete pedestal, and you hear the rattle of the skull resting on top of it. Then, everything goes black. Wet blood seeps through your hair. You shift awake with hesitant care. X-rays will show where you refractured your skull. You heal for a few months before visiting the Museum of Natural History again, whiling away hours of your long, empty days in the Human's Origin exhibit, staring into the eye sockets of the Browning skull on the concrete pedestal. It's the first thing you can remember. No answers are shared between you. Tears build behind your eyes as you read the exhibit label again and again. Specimen, human. Origins, unknown.
The Cry of Hermit's Holler. When you left, I reached to pull you back, but the trucks grumbled no. I gave you flocks and black-eyed Susans to pick for your grandma, lady slippers that only danced for you, leathery pawpaws that dared you to lick, lead plant thick with the scent you called purple. Your hands were shaped by the rough bark of my reaching branches, your feet toughened and protected by the arteries that connected us. When the boy you loved jumped into your boat, I convinced the wind to let the rain go. I slipped hungry catfish into the lake when you weren't looking, and your excitement rippled through me each time you felt the poles tug. You plucked bones from the meat, made a wish, and tucked them into my soft dirt. Even after I gave you a tree and it pushed its way up, you kept making wishes. I made every wish come true. I mothered you, raged with you, laughed with you, gave birth to you. When you left me, I turned the lake upside down and pummeled the skies with my grief. But my tears were ignored by the bulldozers as they rumbled in to make room for everyone except you. I snuck into your dreams and whispered for you to come home, but you never did. I begged the gravel roads to find you, but Blacktop halted their search, and my heart surrendered to the sticky suffocation of tar. The whippoorwills are crying, "Give us room! Give us room!" But there isn't any left. As I'm swept into bags and thrown onto trucks, I fall asleep to the lullaby of condos being raised. Only you can wake me up.
I caught my wife masturbating to a photo of Senator Methuselah Filibuster. It happened last month while I was heating up our meatloaf dinner. It's all we can eat because tacos, spaghetti, or stir-fry would be cultural appropriation. Anyway, I bounded up to the bedroom to ask whether we should hire a Mayan to make us chocolate bars for dessert and heard a buzzing coming from behind the door. I peered through the crack and saw Nancy with the Hitachi magic wand between her thighs, free hand gripping the sheets and an 8x10 photo of the senator on the windowsill. Those shark-like eyes, saggy jowls, and face shaped like an albino flounder made her body writhe in ways I never could. I fled back to the kitchen and ate alone, my tears adding a bitter gravy to the mashed potatoes. I'd had my suspicions due to Nancy's obsession with hydrocarbons, missile defense, and corporate tax rates. Now it all made sense. The intervening weeks were tough. It looked like our marriage was over. Then I hit on a desperate plan. My bowels a churning cement mixer of anxiety, I flew with my wife to the Holy Land to meet with the renowned family therapist, Gordon Trebuchet, better known as the Mattress King of Galilee. A kind, unassuming man with a shock of white hair and teeth the size of siege engines, Trebuchet put us at ease at once. I began my work with adolescents. You may have heard of my book, Turkey Soup for the Teenage Vampire Soul. Rewarding as that was, I began to feel that couples therapy was where the polymer meets the parking lot. Trebuchet gazed at the yellow stain on the ceiling tiles while fitting a corncob pipe between his massive bicuspids. Sorry, I don't follow. Where the latex meets the lane, huh? Where the elastomer meets the expressway. Trebuchet leaned forward. Anyway, gone are the days when medical science believed women grew bear traps between their legs, but you know what they say, if you put 10,000 monkeys at the controls of 747s for 1,000 years, one would eventually land safely at Baltimore Washington International Airport. Why, even today, some believe that olive oil must remain virgin until married. I'll take a slutty olive oil on my Cobb salad any day. Hey, I shouted, my wife's no garlic whore. You mean she's a carpet chopper? I was about to argue further, but when I noticed that Nancy had remained strangely silent, even enchanted, I realized she was all race wars, egg creams, and blueberry pie. Doc, I'm begging you, help us reignite the throw pillows of desire. For serious cases, I prescribe spending the night in a bridal suite, haunted by the ghost of Ayn Rand, but this has been shown to cause sexual aggression in lower primates. Let's start with a Playboy spread of Eileen Wuornos and Carla Faye Tucker, along with a little role play. After a few weeks of this, many couples come up with their own psychodrama that works for them. By the way, I can get you a great deal on a queen size if you're interested. Gordon Trebuchet's fee was the best money I ever spent. After starting with the female serial killers, we hit on our own method of spicing up our sex life. I gained 50 pounds and took away Nancy's birth control pills. Now life is back to normal. We have an unplanned pregnancy, a $100,000 medical debt, and a white picket fence made in China. Best of all, Nancy blames me for everything that went wrong.
Knocking on 3 doors. Your sofa. A portal to a world where electronics contribute to secure elections. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Are you ready for pain-scented lavender? The announcer bellows. And we have to ask ourselves if indeed we are. Diesel-skinned angels line the walls of the room. All of them refuse your upholstery. But then the seconds tick by, and a new day is as inevitable as the sound of metal on dirt.
like pickles? Yeah, pick 'em.
That is hit well. Deep right. Still going. Adios, pelota!
Triumph, Galatea. Triumph. All I know is my conglomerate ain't conglomerating.
Good night!
Good night.
Shut up! Quiet! I said quiet! What's the matter? You deaf or something?